If you're someone who suffers from chronic headaches or migraines, you know the cycle, right? The treatments, the medications, the lifestyle changes, but the pain just keeps on coming back. Today we're exploring a totally different approach, and it's based on the work of Dr. Antonio Rivera. It's one that looks for the root cause not in your head, but actually in your neck. So let's dive into this idea and see where it takes us.
It really is the question, isn't it? Millions of us have asked it. You do everything you're supposed to, you see the specialists, you try all the different treatments, and you still feel like you're just chasing symptoms, never really getting to the actual source. It is an absolutely exhausting and frustrating cycle.
You know, for so many people, this becomes a journey that literally lasts for years. The focus is always on the pain itself. You know, where does it hurt? How bad is it? What are my triggers? But what if all that time we were all looking in the completely wrong place for the cause? And that right there is the fundamental problem. The standard approach so often pushes patients toward just managing the pain, usually with medication. But that is not the same thing as fixing the problem. It's like you're constantly bailing water out of a leaky boat, but you never actually plug the hole.
Okay, this next idea, this is a real game changer. It forces us to question a core assumption we all make about chronic pain. And honestly, it's the entire foundation of Dr. Rivera's approach.
This distinction is just so powerful. I mean, we've all heard how common headaches are, right? We hear it so much that we just kind of accept them as a normal part of life. But Dr. Rivera's point here is profound. Just because something is common, that does not make it normal.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. If millions and millions of people have the same issue, maybe it's not some unavoidable human flaw. Maybe it points to a common, widespread cause that we've all just been missing. And that changes everything. The problem is no longer a life sentence. It's a puzzle, and it's just waiting to be solved.
So if the cause isn't necessarily a brain problem, then where in the world should we be looking? Well, the answer, according to the research and clinical experience we're looking at today, is just a few inches below the skull. So here's how it works. In your brainstem, there's this sort of central switchboard where nerves from your upper neck and the trigeminal nerve, which is basically the superhighway for all sensation in your face and your head, they all meet up. Now, if those neck nerves get irritated, the signals can get crossed, kind of like faulty wiring. Your brain misinterprets that neck problem as head pain, so it feels exactly like a migraine, but the source, it's the neck. So what's causing all this nerve irritation in the first place? Well, Dr. Rivera's work points to these tiny but absolutely critical structures called the alar ligaments. Their entire job is to keep the very top of your spine stable. When they get damaged, maybe from an old injury you forgot about, or even just chronic strain, that's when the trouble can start.
Okay, so let's just walk through this. It's a really clear chain reaction. First, you get some kind of damage to those crucial stabilizing ligaments. That creates instability in your upper neck, which then, over time, starts to irritate the nerves running through there. And the final step? Your brain interprets that nerve irritation as pain in your head. Simple as that.
Right, so if this neck connection is the key, how on earth do you find it? Well, this brings us to a huge innovation in Dr. Rivera's protocol, something he calls the X-ray first rule.
This comparison really lays it all out. On one side, you have the conventional workup. It's focused on neurological triggers, and imaging is really just used to rule out the big scary stuff. The goal is symptom management. But then look at Rivera's protocol. It's a complete 180. The focus is on finding a structural cause right from the get-go, using specific X-rays to look for that C1, C2 ligament damage. The goal isn't just to manage the pain, it's to find and resolve the actual cause.
So, once you've actually objectively identified the problem with an image, you're not guessing anymore, and that means the treatment can be just as precise as the diagnosis.
And when you can target the problem this precisely, the results are, well, they're incredible. Dr. Rivera reports that when this specific structural cause on the neck is found and it's fixed, 95% of his patients see their headaches and migraines just disappear. I mean, that's the power of treating the root cause, not just the symptom.
So the key takeaway here is that this treatment isn't some one-size-fits-all, generic spinal adjustment. No, it's a specific, highly calibrated correction that's aimed directly at the instability that was revealed by the X-ray. The imaging is basically a map, guiding the intervention to the exact spot where it's needed.
And look, this isn't just one doctor's experience. There's a growing body of really solid scientific research that's backing this up.
We're talking about the highest quality studies here, randomized controlled trials, large-scale reviews, and they're all confirming that this type of specific spinal therapy for neck-related headaches can dramatically reduce pain and frequency, often even better than long-term medication.
So what does all this mean for you, for someone who's been struggling with headaches for years? It means it might be time for a fundamental rethink of where the problem truly lies.
And this is the thought I really want to leave you with. How many people out there who've been diagnosed with migraine or tension headaches could actually have a physical structural problem in their neck that's just been completely missed? It's a correctable issue that the standard process simply isn't designed to find.
And that leaves us with one final, pretty powerful question. For anyone who has been told that their headaches are just something they have to live with, this offers a whole new kind of hope. What if the solution isn't in your head at all? What if it's been waiting right there, just a few inches down, this entire time?
I stopped trying to find a doctor who would listen, and I did this instead. For years, I was doing everything right. Eating clean, exercising, getting 8 hours of sleep, but I was still exhausted. I had constant brain fog, and my hormones felt completely out of whack. Every doctor told me my labs were normal, and it was probably just stress. I was about to give up until I found Holistic Health. It's a free AI wellness tool trained by functional medicine experts. I spent 5 minutes answering questions about everything: my symptoms, my sleep, my digestion, and it built me this. And this was the light bulb moment. It didn't just give me a list of problems, it connected the dots. It showed me how my gut health was likely impacting my hormones and how that was causing the fatigue and the brain fog. It even gave me a clear list of potential root causes, supplements to research, and even the specific lab tests to ask for. Its tip is secure. Over 77,000 people have used it, and it's 100% free to get your blueprint. If you feel like you're not being heard, start here. Understand your body first and then decide your next step.